Are you not curious?
Preparing to transfer the Ryan files. Now.
I present to you, with great intrigue and wonder, the Ryan Files.
In all my travels over the years, I'd rather drive than fly. Not for fear of flying, but for the time. The alone time. Lost in my thoughts with the long road in front of me as my only companion. The world moves so fast. Too fast. And sometimes we never give ourselves the opportunity to really live in a particular moment. To really absorb it, own it, experience it, and keep it. Forever. I didn't make that mistake when it came to my relationship with the late, great Ray Liotta. There is no reason whatsoever that I should have ended up as the lead actor in a Hollywood film with co-stars like Ray Liotta, Ashley Judd, Seth Green, and Joey Pants. No reason at all. It makes zero logical sense. And maybe I could wrap my head around it more if I was striving for that dream, if I was looking toward becoming an actor. I wasn't. No, the simple truth of the matter is the only thing I did to launch all this craziness is to rehearse with my band at Diamond Sound in Nashville, Tennessee. That's it. To make a very long story very short, Josh Diamond, who owned Diamond Sound, was high school friends with Dustin Marcelino. Dustin wanted to be a film director. His father, Yochanan Marcelino, who had found success in the music business and the insurance industry, decided to help his son live his dream. So I was as shocked as anyone when I was walking down one of the maze-like corridors at Diamond Sound when a man who resembled Jerry Garcia ran into me and said, "I don't know if you can act, but if you can, I want you to star in my next film." What happened next was again impossible. For 2 years, I worked and prepared for my moment to be realized. From recording music for the movie in Nashville, to living in LA for months at a time working with acting coaches, to losing nearly 40 pounds. I was 100% invested in something I was 100% not ready for. I'll never forget the day I got the call from Dustin Marcelino. I was in a parking garage just leaving acting class in Santa Monica, California. He said, "We just cast your dad." I was excited when I asked him, "Who'd you get?" He said, "Ray Liotta." And my heart skipped a beat. I told you I like to drive. It's because only in those moments do things find a way to sink in and finally allow you to really remember. I was intimidated by Ray before we met. I was nervous. Why in the world am I even in this position? But then we met. There are few bigger compliments you can give to another human being than this. To hold someone you don't know in high regard before you ever met them and realize that your expectations were far too low. Ray was an amazing human being. Ray flew in several weeks before we began shooting. Not because he wanted to hang out in Nashville, but because he wanted us to get to know each other, kind of like a father and a son. And that's exactly what happened. He called me up one day and said, "Hey, you want to go to the Titans game?" I, of course, said yes. I showed up and we were sitting on the front row at the 50-yard line. The Titans had a huge comeback win that day against the Steelers. I'll never forget the high fives and the hugs as the home team mounted an impossible comeback to win. It was a magical day. A few days later, he invited me out to a concert. It was me and Ray in the VIP section watching the Zac Brown Band and Alan Jackson perform on the riverfront. I told him a funny joke. He laughed until he cried. We had a blast. So much time spent together. So many great memories. And through it all, I realized that this guy wasn't just some movie star. He was a real person. He was my friend. I never realized it until this last road trip, as I allowed those old memories to resurface. My biggest fear was letting Ray down. When we got on set together, I just did not want to let him down. And so, the very first day of shooting came. And the very first scene I was in was a scene with just myself and Ray. During the scene, I was telling my dad that I dropped out of college. The way it was written, I assumed Ray was going to be stomping mad and angry, which is extremely telling that I wasn't quite ready to be an actor who was, quote-unquote, in the moment. But Ray didn't get mad. He didn't get mad in the scene at all. Yeah, he was disappointed. He even shed a few tears. I was not expecting that at all, which, in hindsight, was perfect. He got me choked up. I started crying, and the next thing you know, I wasn't thinking about lines or blocking or the 50 other people who were in the room on the other side of the camera. And this was no accident. Ray was a genius. He forced me to be better. And he did. After the scene, the producer stopped by my trailer. He told me that after the scene, Ray told everyone on set, I don't care if he's new. The kid's a great actor. And for the rest of the film, I wasn't labeled as the new guy. Thanks, Ray. There are so many stories to tell. Times where we had super emotional scenes that found me bawling behind a car after the scene was over because it got so emotional. But he was always there. He'd text me late at night and tell me, "Good job. Keep up the good work. Great job of getting emotional." Always there, always encouraging. The film wrapped. We saw each other a few times afterwards, and we kept in contact over the years to follow. Just a simple text here and there. Years later, he texted me to remind him of the joke I told him at the Zac Brown concert. Such a simple little thing, but it was special to me. Ray passed away on May 26, 2022 in Santo Domingo during the filming of Dangerous Waters. When I heard the news, I cried. During my recent road trip to La Crosse, Wisconsin for Elvis Explosion, I took a detour to the little town of Dyersville, Iowa. When I was just 16 years old, the film Field of Dreams came out, and it had been a favorite of mine even to this day. And of course, Ray was in that film, playing the role of shoeless Joe Jackson. It was a beautiful day. The property was amazing. The feel was just as I remembered it from the movie. The drive there had really helped me solidify my experiences with Ray, and I couldn't help but walk away with a new determination. Ray didn't have to give me a chance, and he didn't have to be my friend. If I ever find myself in his position, I hope to live up to the standard he set with me. I hope to be able to be as genuine, as thoughtful, and as impactful as he was for a no-name, first-time actor without a clue. I took a moment in that cornfield alone to say my goodbyes to Ray. My life has been a field of dreams. How grateful am I to have shared a part of it with my friend, Ray Liotta.